All right, well, welcome everybody to another Cash Talk. Today, I got a real special guest. Don't really need an introduction to the channel. If y'all watch, y'all know who he is. Creator of The Random Show from way back. Freestyle King, as far as I'm concerned. One of the best I've ever heard. Do it. Co-founder, super producer of All on the Table podcast. My man Rawasas.
Me.
Been a long time.
Facts.
I mean, shit, what, 2 weeks?
About that. About that.
Nah, it's been long overdue to get you on here and do this. I mean.
Facts. I ain't gonna hold you though. I kind of felt some type of way, man, because I'm like, you got all these motherfuckers telling all these goddamn stories, and I'm just fucking chopped liver just sitting here. You hear me?
Yeah, use that man overboard, just out there on that flotation device with your little life jacket, trying to blow it up.
Big facts.
So let the people, man, for those watching, they ain't been keeping up. You know what I mean? We got a lot of people with it, some Paul Heezy alum that watching and just starting to tune in and peeping what we're doing. Let them know where you've been. What you been up to?
Just grinding, man. All on the table. You already know, man. We getting it popping, man. Trying to get this audio platform popping. We getting YouTube popping. Doing a little bit of everything, man. I think I'm about to put out another mixtape. I'm just trying to, I don't know, man. I'm trying to stay busy, stay motivated, stay positive, and keep doing what I do. That's all.
I hear you on that. Same here. I'm running that race with you.
Facts. And I appreciate that too, man. Not a lot of motherfuckers, man, in my lifetime, man, that I could find a motherfucker. It's only been one other person. I'm gonna keep it a being with you, man. It's only been one other person that I could say, yo, I got this idea, and I don't gotta give you every fucking layer of the idea, and you could fucking run with me. Like, I ain't found so many motherfuckers that could do that, man. So I appreciate you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no problem, man. That's called chemistry right there. So, you know, throw the idea out and see what sticks. But obviously, needless to say, Philadelphia, born and raised.
You already know.
Right?
Hold on. Let's get it right. West Philadelphia.
Oh, West Philadelphia.
Let's get it right.
I thought it was North.
See, you always gotta get disrespectful with it. Always gotta get disrespectful with it.
Oh, shit. So, what's your journey been like since the Navy, man?
Man, when I first got out the Navy, man, it was a fucking struggle. I ain't gonna hold you, man. I think a lot of vets that get out can relate. Like when you get out, like you said it before, man. I can't remember exactly what you said. It was one of our videos where you was like, you got out and you figured, you know, applying for jobs, them shits were just gonna fall in your lap. But that's not the fucking case. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you really gotta be on your fucking grind when you get out. And the crazy part is, while I was in, not thinking about when I get out, in my mind, I want the fucking sweetest job I can find while I'm in there. So I pick a fucking job watching radars. How many fucking radars can you watch when you get out the fucking Navy? You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, say again?
I think like the airport.
Dude, and that's a whole completely different type of situation. Like, you would think like it's like air traffic control, watching radars on the ship is the same thing. Nah, completely different ball game. Like, in order for me to do what I did in the Navy, I would have to like go work for a cruise ship or be like a merchant marine or some shit like that. Outside of that, I could never do what the fuck I did. Well, outside of being a fucking boatswain mate, and I ain't chipping paint for nobody. Y'all can kiss my ass. I did that shit long enough.
You ain't gonna get over the side on the cruise ship?
Nah, fuck all that shit, Slime. I'm good. Like,
hey, that merchant marine shit though, I heard that paid off. I knew a couple of people that took that route.
I on some real shit, man. It's a guy, man, that he grew up on the same block that I grew up on, and I talked to him. I want to say it had to be about 10 years ago, and mind you, me and him just catching up. You know, what's up with you? How you been? Blah blah blah. I'm telling him my story. He telling me his story, and I ain't gonna lie, man. I really pondered on joining the Merchant Marines, man. Between him and I don't know if you remember Magruder. I'm talking to Magruder. He was a Merchant Marine as well. So I'm like, damn, like, should I really do this shit? But then in my mind, I'm like, do I really want to keep getting stuck at sea for months? Do I really want to go through that shit again? I'm like, nah, I'm gonna just fall back and figure this shit the fuck out, man. So, like most motherfuckers, I struggled, tried to figure it out. I did a bunch of security fucking jobs, bullshit jobs, whatever jobs I could take. I fucking worked at Pizza Hut. I did everything I could fucking do just to put fucking bread on the table. It was what it was, man. You gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I mean? Like, shit ain't as easy as people assume. Like, everybody think, oh, you was in the Navy, shit gonna be easy for you. Fuck, no, that shit ain't easy. I'm struggling just like you, motherfucker. Like, on some real shit.
Yeah, man, I had to go down. I had to even work at a gas station for a minute.
Listen, man, motherfuckers don't realize, man, like, being a veteran don't make you better than everybody else, which for some reason, everybody got this misconception that, oh, you was in the military, you got a leg up on everybody. You really fucking don't. I'm just as fucked as the rest of you motherfuckers. Yeah,
if you don't put that work in, you don't do your diligence, and with the resources that are out there, then...
Exactly. Like, I gotta find all the same loopholes you gotta find. Like, the only difference is I can go to the VA hospital and you can't. That's literally the only fucking difference between me and every other motherfucker that never joined the Navy, or the Air Force, or the Marines, or the Coast Guard, or whatever. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. It's definitely a fucking struggle. It's a slap in the face when you get out. You're like, I thought all this was going to be not given to you. You know what I mean? You know, but you still think there's going to be a level of advantage to it. You know, I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna have all this experience is going to translate into this.
Man, that smoke screen is a motherfucker, guys.
I hear you, man.
That smoke screen is a motherfucker.
Let me ask you this. So let's rewind back a little bit, right? So how and why did you say, you know what, the Navy life for me?
So here, this is crazy, right? My ex-wife, I remember we was youngins, and she was like, yo, go with me to take this ASVAB. She actually was going to join the Navy. Like, me joining the military wasn't even thought in my fucking mind. And at that time, I'm like, all right, I guess I'm gonna be the motherfucker sitting at the crib while you doing what you do type shit. You know what I mean? So she went, and she got nervous while she was there. So the people at the spot was like, yo, you could take the ASVAB with her. So me and her, boom, we both took the ASVAB. She didn't score too well. I actually scored pretty fucking well, but it still wasn't something that was on my mind. You know what I mean? So
hey, hold on. Did you take the test just to see if you would score better than her, just out of spite, just out of some competitive shit?
Nah, see, that's the crazy part, man. At that, it's weird when you say that, right? Because I'm like one of the most competitive motherfuckers on the planet. But at that time, I really wasn't. Like, so I really took the test to give her motivation to take the test, because she got there and then got nervous. So I'm like, fuck it. We literally sat next to each other, both took the test. And I'm gonna keep it a bean with you. I'm like clicking buttons. I ain't really giving a fuck, because I know I ain't going to fuck away. I'm just whatever type shit. And then when the results came back, they was like, yo, you scored this, she scored that. And I was like, oh shit, that's bananas. Like, so for her dream of joining the military was out the window at that point. She was like, fuck it. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I wasn't even thinking about that shit. I want to say about 2 years later, mind you, I was wilding the fuck out. So I graduated high school a year after I was supposed to graduate high school. Yeah, I was wilding. Like,
yeah,
I can't even say I was wilding, man. I just had for some reason, because of the way I've looked, I don't look like the nice guy. I don't look like the pushover guy. For some reason, everybody look at me and see, oh, this guy's gonna be trouble. Even though I'm like trying to stay far away from trouble, people look at me and just assume he's gonna be trouble. So I actually had this fucking, we called them NTAs. It was basically like the security guards at high school. This dude, every time he fucking saw me, this fucker would put me on suspension for a week instantly. Like, as soon as he saw me, like, it wasn't even an option. Like, boy would see me, he would find a reason to say, I'm walking through the hallway one day, I got a fucking hall pass, I'm going to take a piss. This motherfucker put me on suspension for being in the hallway when I wasn't supposed to be. I'm like, dude, I'm just going to take a piss. Like, that's all. Can I take a piss? Like, that's all I want to do. Like, yo, shit was real. Like, and it's crazy to the point where after a while, like, it got to the point where all the rest of the NTAs in school, they helped me hide from this dude. Like they was hiding me and keeping me away from this dude so I could actually fucking progress and get the fuck out of there. And I actually got like nothing but A's and B's. So I had got put into this, it's called the Upward Bound program.
And so you were head of the class?
Yo, fuck you, cuz. You think you're slick, motherfucker. Fuck you for that one, all right?
KC, shout out to KC.
Hey, fuck you and that old bastard. But so it's crazy, right? I had got into this program, it's called the Upward Bound program. So it was basically supposed to build you up to go to college. So, and the only reason I got there is because I got, like I said, A's and B's. So it was this counselor that was putting me through this shit. She gets my report card. She's asking me like, yo, what's up with this? Why is this? Blah, 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 blah. So I'm explaining this to her. I'm explaining about the NTA. We just so happen to see the motherfucker. So she has my report card in her hand. She walked up to him and she passed it to him. So he looked at it. He was like, oh, this is very impressive. Whose is it? She said, it's his. She said, ain't no, he told her straight up, plain face, no filter, no chaser. Ain't no way this is his. She said, well, what makes you think that? She said, look at him. He's nothing but trouble. She said, look at his report card. You assume he's trouble. So he's like, you really serious? This really his? I'm like, and she like, yes, this is his. Like, this is what you kept him from doing because you assumed he was something that he wasn't. So he was like, oh shit, if I would have known he could have did this, I wouldn't have kept getting him out of here. I just didn't want to deal with it.
Damn.
So that's the type of shit that I was dealing with, where it was like, what the fuck is going on? So, and here's what makes it fucked up. This was my 4th year in high school, right? So at that point, they was like, I finally did everything I needed to do, but then they was like, all right, well, you in your 4th year, you just passed your 4th year, but you don't got enough credits to graduate, so we're gonna put you in night school. And I'm like, night school? Ooh, man, I'm not going to fucking night school. Fuck out of here. So in my mind, fuck school. Yeah. Was what it was at that point. Like, I'm just gonna be the average Joe Smo statistic out this motherfucker. Fuck it. You know what I mean? But crazy. I'm sitting at the crib. My little sister called up. She like, yo, go check this spot out. Blah, 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 blah. They offering jobs, this, that, and the third. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, bet.
Yeah, like a job fair?
Say again?
Was it like a job fair or something?
Nah, that's the crazy part. I go down there and it's this place called Youth Build. What Youth Build is they give you a trade and you get a high school diploma at the same time.
Nice.
So I'm like, damn, this was a good fucking look. So I did that. I ended up graduating 2nd in my class, getting my fucking diploma, and I got a fucking trade out of it, which was construction. So that shit was like, fuck that. Mind you, on the flip side of that, they gave you a stipend. They paid for your fucking tokens to get back and forth to school, all that. So that shit was like fucking perfect. I'm getting paid to go to school now. Fuck high school. This shit worked out even better.
Damn.
You know what I mean? Like,
they still have programs? They still have programs like that?
Yes. It's called Youth Build Charter School. So any young boys that's watching this, any parents that's watching this, you're in the Philadelphia area, definitely check that joint out. I'm pretty sure they got them in other cities and states as well. I'm pretty sure you can find them. But me personally, I got lucky. And when I was going there, the only trade that they had was construction. Come to find out, years later, they integrated like computer engineering, they integrated nursing, they introduced a bunch of different programs. So it's actually better now than it was when I was going there. I think it was kind of new when I started, but now it's like a little bit bigger. So yeah, real shit. It was a great fucking program.
So you go through this program, right? Kind of changes your mind about school and shit like that.
Yeah.
And how does the after you, so is that like what time frame is this, like with your ex-wife or whatever, and going to take the test?
She had took the test, like me and her, I was supposed to graduate a year before her. So she took the test when I was supposed to be in my junior year. So she was taking the test so that way she could line herself up so soon as she graduate, she could bounce.
Okay, so you had already taken the test by the time you're in this program.
No, yeah. I took the test with her before I did the program. Yep. So it worked out kind of that way. So it's crazy because while I'm doing this, like I said, it's still high school. Like the way they did it, 1 week you in school, 1 week you out in the field, like actually working. Like we actually took a shell of a house and built it up from the ground up. Wired the bitch, put all the plumbing in, put the floors in, like we did everything. Like that shit was official. Like,
That's
and
dope.
we did all of this during the course of a school year. So that shit was like banging, like, you know what I mean? But I'm sitting there one night and I'm doing homework and my phone rings. So I'm thinking it's my chick. I answer the phone, I'm like, hello. So this guy says, hey, this is recruiter so-and-so from the US Navy. How would you feel about joining the Navy? I thought about that shit for like 0.6 seconds and was like, yeah, why not?
Damn.
So I don't think Boy, the funny part is I don't think Boy like really processed it as fast as I said it. Cause he's like about to go on with his speech and he was like, hold on, backtrack. What did you just say? I said, sure, why not? He was like, oh, okay. He was like, he didn't know what to say at that point.
He was like, damn, that's the best quota I ever made.
Exactly. Like that was the easiest quota he probably ever made. So he was like, all right, I'm gonna come by and get you tomorrow. What time is you free? So I'm like, I'm free by this time. So he comes school me. We go to the recruiting office. We do some paperwork, but I think he thought I was bullshit. So I'm like, boom, sign on dotted line, do what we gotta do. So at that point, I had went through MEPS. I did everything I needed to do, and I still had, I think, 5 months left in high school.
Damn.
Yeah. So I was actually signed up to leave. I graduated, I was supposed to graduate in June. I was already set up to leave August 2nd, 2001.
Damn, you bounced out right after graduation.
Yeah, that was my whole thing was, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I really sat and I thought to myself, and it's weird how that shit worked out, man, because in my mind, I'm sitting there, I'm like, damn, like when I looked at my family tree, I looked at all the motherfuckers around me, I looked at the neighborhood I was in, and everybody was doing fucked up. Like it was either, like, don't get me wrong, I hustled, I fucking stole cars, I fucking robbed folks, I did little dumb shit like that when I was a young boy. But in my mind, I'm like, this really ain't me. Like I'm destined for something better than this. You know what I mean? And the crazy part about it is, whole time I'm doing this, I could rap. So many motherfuckers is like, yo, let me come do this. Let's go over here. Let's do that. My dumb lazy ass, I just want to sit around, fucking smoke weed and do absolutely nothing. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm not making the moves that I could have been making. Dog, my fucking the high school football coach, he told me straight up, dog, your size alone. I literally, in high school at fucking 16, I was the same height I am now. I was about 150, 160 pounds. So I was bigger than most of the motherfuckers on the team. And I was like, I ain't gonna say I was the greatest fucking athlete, but I was athletic because I always was doing shit. So he's like, dude.
That's my build right now.
That's sad. It's actually sad, dog. You're a grown ass man still shaped like a little ass boy, but whatever, cuz. So
you do the MEPS thing, bounce right after, boom, go to boot camp, right? So you go to boot camp, obviously. What time of year did you go to boot camp?
I left August 2nd.
Oh, so you was up in there in the summer. I was there in the winter.
I got there. I was able to see the hottest of the hot and cold as fuck at the same damn time. Chicago, y'all got that shit. Fuck that shit.
I was there February. Oh man, it was brutal.
I got there in August and I left mid-December. No, was it December? No, I was home. Was I home for? Yeah, I was home for Thanksgiving. So
well, you had to go to the what is that? The training part too that stayed there, right?
Man, that shit wasn't no fucking training. We fucking sat in a fucking class for 2 weeks, did absolutely nothing, and then they said, "Get y'all the fuck out of here."
That's what Milo and Dallas was saying. They're like,
yeah, that shit wasn't no fucking. It was for real. That was like, all right, we don't want y'all to feel bad that y'all don't get a class, so we just gonna give y'all some dumb shit. That's all that shit was. Like, fuck out of here. Like, that was some bullshit. They should have just sent us on our way at that point.
Oh man. So the crazy thing is that when you got recruited, right? You had a chance. You go up in there and they offer you all these jobs, right? You got to look through all these things, right? Like, what's your mindset when you're looking through all this? First of all, what was on the table for you? No pun intended with the podcast, but what was on the table when you're sitting there looking at it, thinking like, okay. Like,
so here's the thing. They asked me straight up. They was like, "What kind of job do you want to do when you go in?" I said, so I told the boy, this is the actual conversation. And I remember this whole conversation because once I actually got on the boat, I kind of wanted to go back and slap the shit out the dude that fucking sent me there, because I'm talking to the guy. I'm like, listen, he said, "What kind of job you want?" I said, "Well, I'm doing construction right now, so I want to get into construction. I want to do something of that nature. Is there jobs like that?" He was like, "Oh yeah, you could be an electrician, you could be a builder, you could do this, you could do that." And I'm like, "All right, that's actually the realm of where I want to be at. That'll work perfectly." He said, "All right, I got the perfect job for you."